911, what is your emergency? I hear shots! Okay, ma'am, calm down. What kind of shots?
Talk like an angel, but I got wise. You're the devil.
Let's start a riot! Let's start a riot! Tear shit up for peace and quiet! Fuck that shit, let's start a riot! Tear shit up for peace and quiet! I gotta get that feeling.
My name is Frank Morrison. In the 90s, I was 19 and had little to show for it. I'd stopped attending school after being kicked out of the basketball team for shoving a referee into the stands. But I was a man of potential. I could light up a room despite my bleak childhood. At 6 years old, I'd been taken away from Calgary to start a circuit of foster homes. No matter how many times I would lash out, throw tantrums, or get into fights, they kept moving me to new, unfamiliar houses. My last move had been 3 years prior. My last foster dad, Clive Andrews, picked me up from the adoption center. We had been on the road for 7 hours before reaching a small bungalow in Ormond. But that was the longest time we'd ever spend together. Clive was too busy trading checks from family services for drinks at the bar to look after me. Ormond was a small, stale place. A remote town of 6,000 inhabitants where gray winters drag on for most of the year. I did everything I could to get into another adoptive family.
But he changed his mind when he caught my attention.
Julie Kostenko was a beautiful girl who was convinced that she deserved better than a life in Ormond.
And Frank, as a handsome outsider, was my ticket out. Frank attended the parties I threw where everyone was younger than him and easily impressed.
Which he liked.
And he met me, Joey,
who was impulsive and liked to show off.
And me, Susie,
who was shy and naive, but also my best friend.
We would hang out at an abandoned lodge of Mount Ormond.
Our time together was the perfect break from the boring conformity of our small, insignificant everyday lives.
I saw it as an opportunity to shape their lack of experience into something powerful. I lined up nights of debauchery and rampage, testing their limits. Bullying, vandalism, and theft were essentially our weekend plans.
it came to a point where we would do anything he asked.
Nothing was off limits when we put our masks on.
One evening, though, Frank dared me to vandalize the store that had recently fired me. We snuck inside easily enough, as the building was supposed to be empty after closing.
but a cleaner who was still there grabbed me as soon as I accidentally came near.
Hearing her stifled cries, it felt like a dark impulse took me. I rushed to her aid, knife in hand, and without hesitating planted the blade into the cleaner's back.
We just stood there, staring at Frank in shock.
Until I ordered them to finish the job.
I clenched my jaw, grabbed the knife, and stabbed the bleeding man in the ribs.
I didn't want to do it! I didn't! But
we had to finish what we'd started.
And he was right. So, I closed my eyes and slid the knife into the man's chest. Then, I handed the web blade to Susie.
We were all in this together now.
We were all in this together now.
I just stared at Julie in disbelief.
So I grabbed her trembling hands and inserted the knife deep into the man's throat. There wasn't time to feel bad. We had to move fast.
We mopped the blood off the floor.
We stashed the body in my car.
And we drove back up to Mount Ormond.
The four of us were digging in the muddy snow to dispose of the body when I spotted something moving through the woods. I grabbed my knife and broke from the group to check it out, but a fog thickened around me, becoming so dense that soon I could no longer see ahead. I retraced my steps and stumbled onto an ominous trail. I followed the eerie path, as if called by the darkness.
Susie, Joe, and I finished digging, but Frank was nowhere to be seen. I spotted his muddy footsteps in the snow and followed the trail, which took us deeper into the woods.
We didn't return home that night.
I can only guess that our parents thought we ran away with Frank.
The mood in town changed, however, when a body was found by an abandoned lodge up Mount Ormond.
The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it end. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. My secret side I keep hid under lock and key. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. Cause if I let them out, they'll tear me up, break me down. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it end. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster. It's hiding in the dark, its teeth are razor sharp. There's no escape for me, it wants my soul, it wants my heart. No one can hear me scream, maybe it's just a dream, maybe it's inside of me. Stop this monster, I feel it deep within. It's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I'm gonna lose control, it's something radical. I must confess that I feel like a monster. 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 I feel like a monster.
Maybe it's because your boy Yeezy get ass a lot.
You're so hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? Your touch magnetizing. Feels like I am floating. Leaves my body glowing. Say, be afraid. You're not like the others. Futuristic lovers. Different DNA. They don't understand you. You're from the heart of the world. A different dimension. You open my eyes, and I'm ready to go. Lead me into the light. Kiss me, infect me with your love and fill me.
Bye-bye. 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 Take care now.